Most fans of hard rock, heavy metal, and hair metal had a band that they considered to be their band. You know, it wasn't a band that was all over radio, that was blowing up the charts and going double and triple platinum. It was that band that nobody knew about, but somehow you discovered this band and you knew they deserved that fame and fortune that all the heavyweights got. Well, for me, Tuff was that band. I discovered them in 1991 reading a little blurb in Metal Edge magazine, went out and bought the cassette, and I've been basically a Tuff fanatic since then. Well, I got the reprinted vinyl edition of the 1991 What Comes Around Goes Around album, and today I'm going to open that bitch up. We're going to look at the vinyl, we're going to talk about the album, and hopefully I'll convince other people that Tuff needs to be your band.
The hair metal guru from Warren to Crew. The hair metal guru, never forget Charlie too.
Welcome to the Hair Metal Guru. My name is Anthony. They call me the Guru. That's right. Today we're talking about Tuff, Stevie Rochelle, George DeSaint, Michael Lean, and Todd Chase put out one of the, I don't want to say long lost, there's a lot of fans of this album, but the What Comes Around Goes Around album came out in 1991. The album was a little late to the party. It came out on May 14th. So it was getting to be, you know, we've said on this channel that the last couple of albums, the last couple of new bands that really broke big happened, I think, in 1990 with Firehouse and Slaughter. Okay. There were, to my knowledge, not any hair metal bands that came out in 1991 that broke. But this album should have, because it is full of phenomenal stuff. I remember reading little blurbs and stories before this album came out. Jerry Miller was really good about promoting this band. Shoot, even as far back as 1989, I think I started hearing stuff about Tuff in Metal Edge. Okay, and then there was in the lead up to What Comes Around Goes Around coming out, there was a big article, and if I remember right, they kind of did a song by song, you know, breakdown. They would do that for new albums coming out. And I think Stevie Rochelle, the lead singer, kind of talked about each one of the songs. And I remember him saying about the ballad, I Hate Kissing You Goodbye. He said it was like a combination of Motley Crue's Home Sweet Home and Bon Jovi's Wanted Dead or Alive. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that screams, you're going to have to go buy that shit pronto. So I did. I bought it at Musicland in West Acres Mall in Fargo. I bought it on cassette. And shortly after that, I went on my church group, we went on a trip to Texas. And I listened to that fucking cassette like that whole trip. And I remember telling everybody, you guys need to listen to this band Tuff. You know, the first single was a ballad called I Hate Kissing You Goodbye. And I know Stevie, I think, has talked about this. The first single and video should have been a song called The All New Generation. But anyway, it ends up being this ballad. And the ballad goes to number 3 on the MTV, Dial MTV charts. It's, you know, up there with fucking Metallica and shit. So that song starts doing fairly well, gets some pretty good airplay. Well, we all know what happens. On September 23rd, fucking Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana gets played. Pretty soon, if you're at all associated with hair metal or 80s rock, you're basically finished. So I think this album sold, I think it sold over 100,000 copies. And maybe Stevie will watch this and correct us in the comments. So, but it deserved dramatically better. And ever since then, you know, I felt like, you know, a band that becomes your band, it's like a band that you feel like you discovered. And I felt like I discovered Tuff, and there are probably other Tuff fans out there that felt the same way. You know, you were always promoting this album. A couple years later, they put out an album called Fist First that was not on a national release. I remember I was signed up for like the Tuff mailing list. I ordered that on CD. In 1995, they put out an album called Religious Fix that was basically Fist First with a couple of extra songs. I bought that thing when Stevie Rochelle started putting out, I remember his first solo album was called Sense 66. I bought that, and I've continuously preached Tuff and Stevie Rochelle and all of the stuff that he put out. Well, then you get the website Metal Sludge that starts talking about hair metal, and this is the late 90s. And everybody who was a hair metal fan starts talking about Metal Sludge, and it gets to be big. Okay, it was huge. They were talking about it on like VH1 and shit. Well, we come to find out that it's fucking Stevie Rochelle from Tuff is running Metal Sludge. So what I'm trying to is the guy is a rock and roll lifer, and he is still doing Metal Sludge. He is still promoting Tuff, promoting these bands that we know and love. And if you, is it now a couple of years? I've had this for a long time, but I never opened it because I'm a collector. But now I'm starting to open and review this shit for you guys. So this has never been out of the plastic wrap. Okay, and so we're gonna do that today, but you know, I salute what Stevie Rochelle has done. He bought the rights to this thing and just took the bull by the horns. I mean, the guy's a workhorse when it comes to Tuff, when it comes to Metal Sludge. He's still out there playing shows. So, gonna open this up today, talk about the reissued vinyl, and talk a little bit about the songs, and hopefully, if you've not heard of Tuff or not been a Tuff fan, hopefully I'll convince you that this is an album that deserved so much better. This is a band that we should have been talking about, along with the Poisons, the Warrants, and bands like that actually made it to platinum status, because this thing deserved platinum status. Okay, so let's dig into this thing. And I'll be honest, hey, stuff is starting to happen on the channel. Like, I am talking to people about potentially doing stuff on radio, and shit. So the channel's growing and new opportunities are happening. So I just wanted to, in this brief little break, to thank everybody. To thank everybody for taking this, what I thought was going to be a shitty little hair metal guru channel on YouTube, and hoping to get a few hundred people following it. And, in a year and a half, we're getting close to 4,300 subscribers, and it feels like things are starting to happen. And I thank you. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. So now I feel like I'm blabbing, but anyway, let's get into the Tuff vinyl. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, before I fucking get into that, check this bitch out. I have a original 24 by 36 inch frame. Fuck, I probably look like an idiot doing this. Of the What Comes Around Goes Around promotional poster. Fuck. So, isn't that badass? I bought the expensive frame for it, not one of those cheesy Walmart frames that actually, I use a lot of those too. So anyway, got that, and put the, for this video, put the What Comes Around Goes Around, album flat behind me. So we're surrounded by Tuff, and Tuff has never gotten their own video. So here we go. Cheers, Charlie. Charlie, what you doing? Where are your boobies at? Yeah, there you are. Yeah, we're going to set up that OnlyFans account so everybody can look at your boobies. Because you got nice boobies, and you got 8 of them. So we should charge people 8 times the usual going rate for your OnlyFans account. Yeah, you're going to be very popular on OnlyFans. Okay. All right. Let's open this thing up. And it's so fucking dark in here. Like, my lighting situation, in fact, my general ability to, like, make videos look cool. I watch other people, and I'm like, shit, how do they do all this cool stuff? Anyway. So it was not sealed. It was just in this, which is fine. He's doing all that shit himself. This is beautiful. I love this cover. Like, I think this is one of the cooler rock and roll covers. They're at this fucking merry-go-round thing, but you got the, you know, the purple exploding. And now I'm going to sound like I'm kissing Stevie's ass. I'm not trying to. But Stevie was one of the, you know, one of the beautiful people in hair metal. I remember something with somebody was talking about Gene Simmons saw Stevie Rochelle and went, holy shit, that's a star. Like, the beautiful frontmen in hair metal, and that doesn't make me gay, were Sebastian Bach, Michael Monroe, maybe Mike Tramp, okay, Stevie Rochelle was one of them. I mean, you wanted to put that guy's face wherever because, you know, you were going to notice it. So anyway, okay. Enough of me gaying out over Stevie Rochelle. Okay, so there's the front. Here's the back. We got the band members, Stevie Rochelle, George DeSaint, Todd Chase on bass, George on guitars, by the way, and Michael Lane on drums. And this came out on Atlantic originally, and then reissued in 2021 on RLS, which is Stevie's own label. RLS stands for Record Labels Suck Records. So, what else do we need? This is produced by Howard Benson. Howard Benson produced a bunch of big and a bunch of lesser known hair metal albums. So his name is pretty synonymous with hair metal, even though he went on to do, like, I think he went on to do some new metal and maybe some grunge later on. So Howard Benson produced, and okay, it's gatefold. Shit. Badass. Ooh, look at fuck. Look, I have not opened this. I fucking forgot it was going to be autographed. So, you know, now you really know, because that's genuine surprise. So there is, man, that's kick-ass. That is a kick-ass poster. I wish I had like a real big poster. So check out the gatefold. Yes, when you order it, Stevie signs shit. So it says Anthony, Stevie Rochelle. So yeah, and let's get into, that's cool. That's a cool gatefold. Let's get into the vinyl. Okay, sleeve. And let's pull this out. I always worry that I worry that I'm gonna, I worry that I'm gonna look like an idiot when I pull out vinyl, because I never use vinyl. You know, I'm not gonna listen to this. I'm just pulling it, you know, I just want to have it. So I'm probably not gonna listen to it. I have this on, I probably have many copies of this on CD. Okay, so I either listen to CDs or I listen to online. But I know that because I did download on my Apple Music, I downloaded this and it's remastered and the sound kicks ass. So you can see both sides. Purple was always kind of their color. Put that back. And so there you see the gatefold. You see the vinyl. Let's see how pristine and clean and cool that looks. So I want to talk a little bit about the songs. This is an all killer, no filler. There are no skips. And I'll maybe even tell you like songs that I think aren't my favorite, but there's nothing on here that when it comes on, I go, oh fuck, there we go. So it starts off with Ruckapit Bridge. And Ruckapit Bridge has this cool kind of, I don't know, different intro. You know, it's kind of guitar tapping, and all of a sudden, fucking, here comes the guitars, here comes Stevie's voice, and gets into it. It's kind of cool because, well, maybe it's kind of lame. At the end, there is like an almost funk rap section, okay? But that's for probably about 15 seconds. The whole song really freaking rocks. It's actually probably, to Tuff fans, one of the more popular songs on the album. I really love Ruckapit Bridge, okay? Next is the song that should have been the single. It would have made a kick-ass video. It's called The All New Generation. And fuck, I need to get some lyrics. So The All New Generation is a song that is about the history of rock music. And it's such a great fucking idea. So I'll give you a couple lyrics. It starts off with, time in a bottle, nothing stays the same. Somewhere in the 50s, music made a change. People started pointing when the king began to shake. They called it rock and roll, and it was love or hate. And then it goes on to mention Elvis Presley, you know, Little Richard, Buddy Holly, mentions the Beatles, and then it gets into the chorus. In the second verse, it starts off with, hippies turn to punkers and rockers turn to glam. And then it goes into mentioning bands like, you know, the 70s bands, The Who, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, The Stones, Aerosmith. And then it goes into the chorus. And then it comes back with the final verses. And, shit, where the hell is it? It's talking about, then it goes into, it mentions Ozzy Osbourne. So here, I'll just read it. Cooper, Kiss, The Oz and Motley, Poison, Axl, John Bon Jovi, Skid Row is the youth gone wild. So it's a history of rock music and leads right up to, you know, present day 1991. And it is catchy as shit. This should be a hair metal anthem. Right up there with your Nothing But a Good Times, your You Give Love a Bad Name, and shit like that. Like, we should be hearing this on radio and on Sirius XM Hair Nation all the time. It so sucks that that song didn't become the anthem that it should have become. The All New Generation. Charlie, I think I get too intense. And then she worries. Okay? But you got your boobies. Go put your boobies away. It's okay. I'm okay. Nothing's wrong. Okay. Then, after the All New Generation, you got the song that became the first single/video called I Hate Kissing You Goodbye. And it's a great ballad. It's an acoustic ballad. You know, lyrically, it's kind of your basic love song, but it's catchy as shit. You know, like yes, in 1991, you could have played this, you know, at your prom and been out there, you know, playing a little tonsil hockey with your date, and it would have been just fine. So it's a great ballad. Okay, we go into Lonely Lucy. And I will say, you know, when you look at this, you know, people always used to say that Stevie was kind of copying Bret Michaels. And you know, he wore the headband and did a lot of shit that Bret Michaels did. So they got compared to Poison. This album is dramatically heavier than Poison is. It's not super heavy metal, but it is definitely more rocking than your average Poison album. Lonely Lucy is a pretty heavy rock song, okay? And it's damn solid. Ain't Worth a Dime is the last song on side 1, and that's a very solid rock song, okay? Now you get into side 2, and holy shit, it starts off with a song that is probably my favorite song on the album. It's called So Many Seasons. So if you still follow Metal Sludge, Stevie writes these, now I can't remember what he calls them, but you know, he writes these blogs that are about his life and the history of Tuff. And I love, he goes into like dark detail. Okay, it came from a, I don't want to say broken home, but maybe dad wasn't around, and maybe, I don't know if he was kind of a womanizer, but he died when Stevie was really young. Okay, so he deals with that, and then when he gets a little bit older, his older brother, I think his name was Gib, or Gibby was called. Gibby kind of, maybe has some friendships and relationships that are a little shady. Gibby ends up getting murdered, and it's foul play. Obviously he's murdered, but like I don't know that they found out who did it, and I think Stevie was probably in his teens when that happened. So the guy, the two most influential male role models in his life were killed, and this song is about that. And this is the best lyrics on this album. And it's not a slow ballad, but it's an acoustic mid-tempo song, and I implore you to fucking listen to it. So here's how it starts. Seasons changing, leaves like rain are falling down. Last week just passed me by, you never came to town. Mom said it was strange, now I don't know what to do. Sitting in the wind, I'm all alone, waiting. It's been so many seasons. So it gets into where he talks about his dad, and his dad being gone, and now his brother leaving. Dad's left me, and now you're leaving. It can't be true. So many years, so little time was spent with you. Mom said you'd be proud. And I get goosebumps, like when I read that line, Mom said you'd be proud. Now I wish we could make that true. Singing this song, I'm praying real hard. Maybe I'll get through. It is so emotional. And I think the band did their own video. It wasn't really, Atlantic didn't release it. They recorded their own video. So there is a video for the song on YouTube. But it's so emotional. And I think, so I'll tell you why I relate to it. My parents got divorced when I was 4. And I never saw my dad after that. He never called us. We never got a Christmas card. So I always grew up, without my father and wondering why he wasn't around. Now, I know that's different. Stevie's dad died. His brother was killed. But, you grow up without that person. And you're like, man, what would my life have been like if they had been around? And I love the line where he talks about his mom, saying, like he would have been proud of you and all this stuff. Because, my mom used to always try to reassure me that I was loved. Because my dad never did. And, years later, I have seen my dad. He's very old. This is a few years ago. I would have been, I'm 52 right now. So I would have been like 49. It was finally the first time I saw my dad since I was 4. And he's sorry. And he felt like my life was better off without him. So, anyway, those lyrics hit home with me. So I can still play that. I'm like, I almost felt like I was getting emotional just reading the lyrics, like it just grabbed me. So many seasons. Forever Yours is probably one of the songs. It's not a skipper. I like it, but if I was going to rate the songs on the album, it would probably be close to the bottom. Okay, it's still a good song. I'd probably rate it a 7, which means, hey, I'll check it out, but if I don't hear it's okay. Next, song number 3 on side 2 is another fucking great ballad called Wake Me Up. I think I like this ballad better than I Hate Kissing You Goodbye. Now, it was said, and it was listed on the original on the original release, that it was co-written by Bret Michaels. And I think there was maybe some, was it really? You know, maybe they wanted to have his name on the record, you know, to kind of help it move some units. So anyway, but a great ballad. A should have been a hit ballad. You know, Stevie, he has a lot of grit in his voice. You know, you weren't getting high pitched, you know, screams. You know, you were getting growls, and that his voice really translates well to ballads. And Wake Me Up should have been big. Then you got Spit Like This, which is kind of crazy lyrics. Let me see if I can find some lyrics. Here's how it starts. She's got the long log legs, and she's built like bricks. Like a finger down my throat, she really makes me sick. It's kind of funny, she don't want money. It's suicide to take a ride, but I love it when she comes. Okay, I wonder what they're talking about there. So, Spit Like This, with a lot of sexual innuendos. Great song, love it. And then it finishes with Good Guys Wear Black. And to me, this could have been a hit. It's a fucking heavy, kick-ass rock song that, you know, is probably one of my favorite songs on the album. You know, favorite rock songs, up there with the All New Generation. I could have seen that being played on radio. So, 10 songs. I know seems like I'm just blowing smoke up your ass. So I will say it would have been cool if there would have been a lyric sheet. Fuck, I'm gonna be honest, I actually got done recording and I didn't see. This thing was like hidden in the in this sleeve, and I didn't notice. So, yes, you do get the fucking lyrics of all the songs. Here I was fucking looking them up online, and I had them right here. And then you get all the thank yous and all this information about the album. So I haven't read it. Yeah. A band thank you, and then an individual thank you, and all of that. So yes, you get this insert as well. Now I got to figure out where the fuck to put that in the video, but that was kind of funny, you know. But you get the gatefold, you get the great photo, you get awesome cover. So and again, this was always my band. This was always my album, you know? So hopefully you know, if you're a fan, hey, you can either go to I think toughcds.com, or you can always go to Metal Sludge, all right? And pick up a vinyl copy. He did remaster it on CD as well, so you can get it on CD as well, okay? And I feel kind of a loyalty to Tuff, to Stevie, and to Metal Sludge, because they've been, you know, spreading the word, you know, promoting these bands and giving them a news outlet on Metal Sludge when there wasn't always places who wanted to talk about this shit. So that's what I'm doing here, is I'm trying to do my part to, you know, to spread the word. Well, he's always been doing that, and so I salute him. And I think, you know, hopefully there are people who promote my channel. You know, like the guy who sent me a big box, James Long, sent me a bunch of stuff because he's like, man, I love that you're spreading the word. So Stevie's been doing that forever. So I feel like we need to support people who do that. If you love hair metal, you should support Metal Sludge, Tuff, Stevie Rochelle, and you know, shit like this. Getting this album reprinted, remastered, and you know, and kicking ass in 2025. So that's my review. You know, support Tuff. Go check that out. Hey, let me know in the comments what you think of the album. Let me know, you know, if you already have it and what you thought of it. Tell me some of your thoughts about Tuff, Stevie Rochelle, or Metal Sludge. Hey, and like, subscribe, what the hell, ring the bell if you want notifications. And whatever you can do to support the channel. Seriously, I appreciate you being here. Until the next video comes out, my name is Anthony. They call me the Guru. Take care of yourselves.